With EA College Football just around the corner, guys, today we're going to be talking about all the 9 new teams coming to EA College Football 25 that were not there in NCAA 14. But in today's video, I'm adding a couple facts that you might have not known about each team before you decide to rebuild them in EA College Football 25. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, fellas. We're going to be covering all kinds of EA College Football 25 content when the game drops. Covering every single team, whether that's in Dynasty Mode, Road to Glory, Play Now, or even Ultimate Team. That said, boys, let's dive in. The first team we're going with, boys, it is probably one of the best teams that we have in EA College Football 25 that we did not have in NCAA 14. That is the Liberty Flames, led by Jamie Chadwell, who had technically an undefeated season and went 13-0 if you don't count the bowl game against Oregon, who's a pretty strong team led by Dan Lanning. Chadwell also came from a team that's also on this list in Coastal Carolina, but we'll cover them more later. And that up-tempo, high-powered offense, if you like offense, guys, this is the team for you. Going to be led by quarterback Caden Salter and running back Quentin Cooley. Should be one of the easier teams to rebuild on the list and have success right away if that's what you're looking for in EA College Football 25. Number 2, boys, it's my personal favorite, Kennesaw State Owls. Last year, they went 3-6, led by Brian Bohannon, who used to be the OC at Georgia Tech. And if you guys know anything about Georgia Tech and how they run their offense, they have always been predominantly a triple option team. And I cannot be more excited to have another triple option attack in EA College Football 25 that's not a military academy. And that is why Kennesaw State is one of my favorite teams coming into this season that was not there in NCAA 14. Surprisingly, the Kennesaw State Owls have actually been pretty successful, having a 700 win percentage, but last year did not go as planned. Michael Bellafield, who played the fullback position in the triple option offense, is back, and it's probably going to be the coach's son, Tim Bohannon, who's going to be taking the keys and leading this offense to glory at the quarterback position. The quarterback position in the triple option offense needs a highly intelligent quarterback that can make the right reads at the right time, and if that's the case, Kennesaw State could be a really fun team to play with, and I cannot wait to dive in. This is my personal favorite on the list. Number 3, boys, Jacksonville State Gamecocks, led by none other than Rich Rodriguez, who has an amazing last name, by the way, just saying. No relation. And yes, it's that Rich Rodriguez, who used to be at Arizona and also used to be at Michigan. And he's got a quarterback now named Zion Turner. Not to be confused with Zion Webb, who just graduated. Zion Turner is also a dual threat quarterback who's coming to him from UConn, the UConn Huskies. So Zion Turner is looking to take that offense by storm. Usually Rich Rod runs a balanced offense, so it's nothing crazy. But Jacksonville State should be a fun team with a decent foundation to jump in and start rebuilding in EA College Football 25. Next one on the list, boys, it's Sam Houston State Bearcats, led by Casey Keller on their second season. Last season, they didn't have a great year. This is probably one of the worst teams on the list. They went 3-9. They'll be in the Conference USA this year. They have a balanced attack on offense, and with quarterback Keegan Shoemaker graduating, it sounds like quarterback Grant Cannell is going to be taking over the reins at quarterback for them, so keep an eye out for him. However, Noah Smith is back, and that's their biggest playmaker, so finding a way to get him the football is going to be key if you want this team to be successful, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Again, another Conference USA team. A lot of Conference USA is going to have some of these new teams, so that should be an exciting competition type conference where if you can know how to play the sticks, you can probably dive in and be competitive in that conference and have a shot to maybe make the playoff if you win your conference. Next is the James Madison Dukes. With head coach Curt Cignetti now gone to Indiana after an 11-2 season, the James Madison Dukes have seen a lot of turnover, not only on their coaching staff, but also on their offensive side of the ball. Quarterback Jordan McLeod has transferred to Texas State. But however, they did bring in a quarterback from a national championship team. Yes, he was not a starter, or else you probably would have known about him, but he was the backup in Washington. His name is Dylan Morris, who's a pro-style quarterback. He actually meshes well with Bobby Chesney's type of offense that he's trying to run, which is a balanced offense with that. Yes, it's obviously a spread offense, but he's trying to balance the ball, not only running, but also passing the ball as well. I don't know a whole lot about any of these guys, but I know that Bobby Chesney has had a reputation of having not only a strong offense, but a strong defense as well. Very balanced teams in the past that he's led at Holy Cross, and hopefully that can transfer over to some Division I football and EA College Football 25. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm talking a lot about the coaches. Coaches don't really matter in EA College Football 25 since they're not going to be in it, but their styles and their offenses will be in the game, so that's why it is important to have them in the game, and that's why I'm alluding to a little bit of what they do and what they bring to the college football game. Next, boys, it is one of my favorite teams in terms of aesthetics. It's one of my favorite teams. Obviously, that's why I put them in the thumbnail. I love them that they had them in the trailer. It is Appalachian State Mountaineers. Led by Sean Clark, they were 9-5 last season. Balanced attack, both running and passing, led through quarterback Joey Aguilar. And with running back Nate Noel now transferring to Mizzou, it's going to be heavily reliant on how Joey Aguilar does next season. So it should be a big year for him. If you go in with App State, just know that you're going to be playing a lot of offense through the quarterback. So it's going to be a highly offensively powered game. They finished second in the Sun Belt last year, so that's not bad. They have a great stadium. If the rendering of the stadiums look as good as intended, Appalachian State should be one of the nicer campuses to play on. I cannot wait to jump in with them. They have a sick field, they have a sick stadium, and they have sick unis. This is one of my favorite teams just in terms of aesthetics. They were also in the trailer featured a lot, so I'm super excited to jump in with these guys, see what they can do, and you know, maybe they can pull off another upset like they did in 2007 against Michigan. Next, boys, is the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, which I don't know what the hell a Chanticleer is, but you know, they have a really dope field. Going off aesthetics again, if you don't know anything about Coastal Carolina, I think you've at least seen their teal field. For some reason, they have a teal field. I think it's dope. So now they're led by Tim Beck, who took over Jamie Chadwell, who's a head coach at Liberty. The guy we talked about earlier, Jamie Chadwell, led this team to being what they are today, and they had a pretty good season last year. But now they have a new coach. His name is Tim Beck, and they were 9-5 last year with him in the first season in the Sun Belt Conference. They also had some turnover at quarterback, where Grayson McCall transferred to North Carolina State. So now quarterback Ethan Vasco is expected to get the nod at quarterback, and wide receiver Jared Brown is transferring to South Carolina. So the offense is a big question mark. So if you want a team that you're probably gonna have to rebuild and just have that true like Kent State type of a grind, this could be a great team in a really cool format. I remember back in the day, not only Boise State were they good, but I know rebuilding and just playing on the blue field was something I used to love to do, just because I used to love playing on the cool field. Now with this team, it adds another layer of another team that we can play just based on how we feel about their field, and they just playing in a cool atmosphere. Next, boys, it's the Charlotte 49ers. They were 3-9 last season, and they have a new head coach named Biff Poggi, who used to be the associate head coach at none other than the national championship team, Michigan. Biff Poggi, when the time he got hired, had a huge shout out from Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh. So their offenses, I can only expect to be very traditional pro style type offenses. And then they got a good quarterback transfer out of Florida that's ready to take over the reins for that pro style offense in Max Brown. Trexler Ivy is also still on the team that was there last year, and he did something, so who knows, he might still get some plays and he might still be pretty decent. But these are the two quarterbacks that are going to be leading this team. Most likely it will be that transfer out of Florida. This could be a good team in the AAC, not to be confused with the ACC. Could be a fun team to jump in. I'm not a big fan of their colors or their scheme, but I do like the town. I used to live in Charlotte for like a year, so that's pretty dope. Not a whole lot much else going on there. It would be like another low-key team, more like a Kent State type of a grind, if that's what you're looking for and you're looking for a challenge. Last but certainly not least, we got Georgia Southern, led by Clay Helton. Yes, that Clay Helton, the one that led USC to an unbelievable comeback against Penn State in that last decent season that USC had before Clay Helton got let go and we hired Lincoln Riley. It's another team in that Sun Belt Conference that, again, it's going to be very competitive. This is a conference that's going to be tough to play in, but I think it's a conference where all the teams are pretty evenly matched. Clay Helton's got a good track record. He's got a pro-style offense where he loves to run, and they have the running back in Jalen White. But they also have a transfer quarterback, Dexter Williams II, who is expected to take the helm at quarterback. So this team looks like it's poised for success. Should be pretty interesting to see how they do. Again, another fun team that could be really fun to rebuild in EA College Football 25. But there you have it, boys. That's the list. That's a couple things about each of the teams that's coming to EA College Football 25. Let me know down in the comments below which is your favorite team coming to the game. Of all the new teams coming to the game, which is your favorite in EA College Football 25, and which are you planning to rebuild first? For me, it's stuck between Appalachian State or Kennesaw State. Appalachian State just based on the aesthetics of the uniforms, the stadium location, and all that good stuff that goes with that. But Kennesaw State's got the offense that I love to run, and I love my triple option teams, and running a triple option with a team that's not Georgia Tech or a military academy is huge for me. So those are my two teams I'm very excited for to jump in with. But every team on here on this list should be fun. I probably will be rebuilding with every single one of these teams. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, you like this video. And if you want to learn more about the 5 things you probably didn't know about coming to EA College Football 25, check out this video right here to learn more. And remember, boys, nice guys finish first, and God bless. Peace.